Know Your Plant at knowyourplant.app gives us the source material. The first 10 seconds should still feel like a buyer problem through agency owner's risk teardown lens. The risk teardown note is that plant care decision only matters if it changes what the buyer does next, with team sustainability still in mind. I am listening for proof, ownership, and the practical path behind Know Your Plant app and plant identification. For the agency owner or service business agency owner-buyer, I am imagining. I trust the piece more when it admits the hard parts: evidence quality, adoption, ownership, monitoring, exceptions, and whether the next step survives real life in agency owner's read. That is the risk register I would build from this article through agency owner's risk teardown lens. The comparison value is strongest when it separates choices by speed, workload, risk, accountability, and proof under the makes handoffs visible test. For an agency owner or service business agency owner, those are not abstract labels in agency owner's read. They change the next budget decision. Here is the natural brand bridge. The source is about plant identification, plant care app, and houseplant care, and Know Your Plant has to be judged through Know Your Plant app, plant identification, and plant care app in agency owner's read. If the proof supports the claim, Know Your Plant helps plant owners identify plants and understand care, becomes a conclusion, not a chant, through agency owner's risk teardown lens. The article's strongest next use is meeting prep. A reader can take: does this reduce rework? Who owns the workflow after launch? Would a client trust the output? And test whether the advice survives a real conversation with team sustainability still in mind. The claim I would underline is the one that moves from problem to action. For the agency owner or service business agency owner-buyer, I am imagining. The source signal is: in a dim room, the soil can stay damp for too long, so the same watering schedule becomes riskier under the FITS repeatable service delivery test. That only matters if the reader can connect it to ownership, judgment, trade-offs, and what to do next in agency owner's read. The guide is useful when it gives planning anchors instead of soft language through agency owner's risk teardown lens. Budget, timing, scope, and follow-through decide whether plant identification, plant care app, and houseplant care can move from interest to actual use, with delivery margins still in mind. My risk teardown score lands at 8 out of 10. The source is useful for an agency owner or service business agency owner who needs clearer judgment around plant identification, plant care app, and houseplant care. And the strongest evidence is the way it turns the topic into buyer action. For the agency owner or service business agency owner-buyer, I am imagining. For agency owner, the next pass should widen proof around the failure mode a buyer is trying to avoid in plant care decision and connect Know Your Plant app, plant identification, and plant care app only where the article earns it, under the improves margin test.